Nityanandam guys, welcome back to the new channel. I'm Priscilla.
And I am Drita.
And we're excited to make our first real video. We made our introduction video to our channel, but now we're actually going to dive into the subject of relationships. And specifically today, I'm going to answer your guys' questions. Specifically, I got asked quite a few times in my last few videos and in Drita's videos also on jealousy in relationships. So we decided we're going to talk about this because it's something for us which actually kind of feels like very far out of reach in our relationship. But I was just trying to think back on if that's ever been there and why I've maybe have experienced that in past relationships and why he's experienced that in past relationships, and how to help you guys overcome this, because this is absolutely a poison to a healthy relationship. If there's jealousy there's something deeply insecure and wrong and lacking in your relationship, which you really got to solve quickly, or the whole thing is really going to self-destruct. Yeah. So we want to explain this to you guys from a spiritual context, how we can heal that part of us so that jealousy no longer plagues our relationship.
I mean, I could say, for one, I was always a guy that would get jealous.
Really?
You know, before I was like, I had my spiritual awakening, absolutely, that male component. Yeah. I grew up in a dressing room where guys would literally compete against other girls, and then you would rag on the other guys if you got the girl, and so the jealousy was very much drilled within me, I would say. And it really wasn't until even after my spiritual awakening where I really did complete with this side. And we were talking just before off camera how did I ever get jealous of you? And I was very close to being jealous, I would say maybe I was a little bit jealous, and I was concerned that maybe you would end up with somebody else or something. And actually, when Priscilla decided to not be with me for a little bit of time, I remember I had a huge, I got very distraught. And it was really important for me to have that moment, because it was that last little experience I needed to push me over the edge of jealousy. And for me to now complete with that component and now understand that jealousy, and it doesn't do any good for me. And so now my perspective on how I've gone beyond jealousy is truly from that space of Advaita oneness, where if Priscilla wants to do something that makes her happy, and even if it means being with somebody else physically, if that's going to make her happy, then for me to be in that space where it's like, okay, if I just truly want her to be happy, whatever she wants to do to make that happen, then I'll be satisfied with that. And coming from that space, that's how I really got beyond the jealousy side of me, and just really rooting myself in oneness and wanting to only enrich that other person, and rather than try and take something from them, because it means, if you're jealous, it means that you're not getting something. You're not getting that component from that other being, and so
you have some expectation.
And so for me, that's really what got me over the jealousy component, is just being in that space of oneness and only thinking about enriching the other person.
Thank you, that's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I remember actually when Drita shared that experience with me, it was actually one of the moments I really realized there was something special about our relationship, because I had never seen that type of maturity in a man that was interested in me as a person, with so much freedom he was giving me in his love, without any conditions. I really could see and feel that he meant what he said, that he wasn't saying it to be nice, which happens quite often. I think we say that we have unconditional love for someone, and we say that we want them to be free, but we often put a lot of our own ideas and conditions on them, and we all fall prey to it at times, right? And we have to constantly remind ourselves. And I'll just share from my perspective the little bit which has helped me see why jealousy starts to fester in us. It's from this idea that we own a person. Literally, the idea that we're having a possessiveness on another being. And when we are really in the space that Drita was saying of Advaita and of true love for that being, which goes beyond our idea of the word love, actually, right? We understand from our own life experience and through Hinduism that oneness is the ultimate love, actually, right? It's beyond any incompletions or completions we have around that word. So basically what I wanted to share with you guys is that look at what space you're holding that person. If you're seeing them as something which you're expecting to give something to you, something which you have an idea that they're going to give to your life. Actually, sometimes we feel we're only valued if another person needs us. This is really the antithesis of love. And so often, especially in romantic relationships, insecurity starts to happen when somebody doesn't feel needed. But it's actually only when that we realize we don't need the other person and they don't need us that true love can happen and that jealousy will go away. Because if I'm having an idea that Drita needs me for X, Y, and Z and that I need him for X, Y, and Z, then if I see he's giving that to somebody else, that dimension to someone else, all of a sudden I'll feel in panic or fear and insecurity. That's the root of jealousy. It's just that fear. It's a fear of not having control of that other person. But really the scariest thing is going to be to lose them. And you will lose them if you start to show that type of a love, because that's not real love. That's coming from a place of fear. So do your best if you're feeling that type of feeling. Really look in and see where you can truly come into a space of gratitude for what that person gives you when they choose to give it to you, but without any expectation or conditions on that person. That's when that jealousy will start to melt away.
And even if you're not actually holding that space and it's you're still like feeling the jealousy, to have that intention and be like, let's say you're just in a distraught moment. Like, I was in a very upset state when I made the decision. Okay, if this is the right context, that's what I want. Even though I'm upset right now, this is the intention that I want to set, and I want her to be happy. I want to no longer be clinging to them. I don't want to hang on to my personal desires, and I want to let them be free. Just have that intention. That's really what matters most, coming from that context.
And it'll start to become your reality, right? You are your intention to be, as our Guru Swamiji, Paramahamsa Nityananda. It's one of my favorite lines he says. You are your intention to be. It's not about what you're doing in this moment, what you did in your past, but it's about what you're choosing to declare for, what you're choosing to declare your space as, what you're choosing to decide for. That is the power you have every moment of every day and every moment in your relationship to choose newly, to choose powerfully, to choose in the space of completion.
And the other quote I love from Swamiji in this is, "Fool, I'm already whole." You don't need another half. You don't need something else outside of you to feel fulfillment. You are already whole. So once you really embrace that and enjoy the wholeness that you are, then you'll probably attract whatever it is that you really are set on manifesting in this life.
And you'll just have extra gratitude for whatever is given to you by another being. If somebody's giving you love or attention, or whether it's physical love or whether it's emotional support or whatever they're giving you in your life, you'll only have an excess gratitude to them, but never an expectation. All right.
Yes.
We'll sign off on that note. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this was a helpful video. Make sure to share it if you got something out of it. Comment below your thoughts, your experiences, what else you'd like to see from us in the next upcoming videos.
And subscribe to the new channel.
Yes. Love you guys. Nityananda.
Be blissful.